Today we are going to learn how to fill out the LCBO sales reporting template, and once complete, upload to the Ontario Wine Appellation Authority. In your member services site, you can go to the LCBO sales reporting template link right here. Click on it, scroll down. You want winery reporting template 26.7, and we're going to download a copy. The reporting template. There we go. Okay, so this is the winery reporting template 26.7. This is also known as the J10. If anybody refers to any kind of LCBO reporting, they'll always say the J10. Anyway, this is it. So first thing you want to do for this example anyway, we're going to leave this blank because we're not an actual winery. We're a sample winery. We're the test winery. So we're going to leave this blank, but obviously you would use the drop down, find your winery, and put it in here. The next thing, we're going to do the month that we're reporting for. So in this case, we're going to say September 2024. We always recommend that you do your reporting monthly. Actually, not recommend, demand that you do your reporting monthly. Okay, so we've got our date. We've got our template ready to go. The first thing we want to do is go to the Overview tab, go to line 4, underneath where it says Exposed Cells, put the letter Y in there and hit Enter. So what that is going to do with the rest of the form is where there's a manual entry in that you actually have to do something, it's going to be highlighted in yellow. Everywhere else, there's a link to other tabs that I'll show you in a moment. But yellow is a good indication that you have to manually enter something in that category, if it's applicable, of course. So, okay, I'm going to give you a quick run through on how to properly report your sales to both the LCBO and to the Ontario Wine Appellation Authority. So first, let's start with the Overview tab. We already did the highlight in yellow, but below that, there is a summary on where you send your completed report to the LCBO, winery.reporting@lcbo.com, no later than 20 days after the applicable month. Further down, there are links and explanations about each of the tabs below. So the LCB J10, the VQAO sales report, the LCB 2055, which is known as the VQA sales report, the LCB 2054, non-VQA, the LCBO 2056, which is the SOP, 2021 is duty-free. Anyway, and then we'll get to the calculator, remittance summary, and the MRP tab momentarily. First thing we want to do, best practice, is to go to the VQA tab. Here, ideally, what you should have done by now is saved a blank template. Rather than go back to the LCBO site every time. Save a blank template on your desktop and you're ready to go. But this is the beginning of how we're going to complete this form. So go to the VQA tab. We're going to type in our product description. So we have 2023 white and a 2023 reserve. Okay. And then the next thing is we need to find out our, well, we're going to enter our VQA ID numbers. And you're going to say, well, where do I find those? And I'm going to show you. So your VQA services site, go to wine approval system. Here's our two approved wines. And here's VQA ID numbers. So we're going to go back to the reporting template. 99, 24, 30, 60 for the white, and 99, 24, 30, 59 for the reserve. Product category. So if you don't know what your product categories are, it's all listed up on the top left. Table white is a T. Table red is an E, or sorry, is an R. Is an R. Bottle size, we're going to say it's 0.75. standard bottle size. Okay, so to calculate the basic price, let's go to the calculator tab. On the calculator tab, we'll change the alcohol to 12%, and let's say the white is $20. So you need to put in your retail selling price, including the container deposit and HST. So to get the basic price, you're basically subtracting from your retail the container deposit and HST, gives you a basic price of $17.52. So we're going to go back to the VQA tab, and we're going to put in 17.52. Okay. Our reserve red, we sell for more. We'll sell that for $24. $24, and we'll change the alcohol to 13%. Not that it makes a difference, but we'll just for the sake of argument. So again, $24 selling price, less container deposit, less HST gives us a basic price of $21.06. So we go back to the VQA tab, $21.06 for basic price. So we've got all our information in here, the product description, the VQA ID number, the product category, the bottle size, and the basic price. But let's say that we have a couple different sales channels. We're going to copy and paste this. Oops. We're going to copy and paste this. And then we're going to create different sales channels. We're going to say these are by the glass. Okay. So different sales channels for this form and for the non-VQA form for licensees are up here. If it's a licensee, so a wine that's sold from the manufacturer to a bar or a restaurant outside of the winery, you can leave it blank or you can put in the licensee number. If it's a tied house, which is a restaurant tied to the winery, then you would put in TH. If it's by the glass, so sold by the glass in the winery, then you put in BTG. If new this year is the convenience outlet, you would put in the letters LCO. Basically, it's all the same price, all the same information. You're just changing your licensee type. Okay, so we've got all our information in here. What I always recommend that you should put in every SKU that you have, reds, whites, all your wines, all your VQA approved wines should be entered here. If you have non-VQA wines, then feel free to put them also on the non-VQA tab. Just put in a description, the ID, the product category, the bottle size, and the basic price. And then save the template. Save the template that you previously saved. This will be your master copy. That way you're only entering your information once and you don't have to keep doing it on a monthly basis. Okay. But this one, so we've done that. Let's imagine that we've done that and we're doing September 2024. So in September 2024, we sold 12 bottles of white. We sold 12 bottles of our reserve red to outside licensees. Then we sold 12 bottles by the glass of each. Okay. So for a total of 48 bottles, 36 liters, 24 by the glass, 24 to licensees. Right now, if this was all the sales you had, your template is pretty much complete. And I'll show you why. Because you would owe the LCBO $75.84. It would be populated on your J10 right here, 18 and 18. And it would be populated on your VQAO sales report here and here. But we're not done because we know we've had some other sales during the month. But as I mentioned, if you have all your information populated on here, description, ID, category, bottle size, basic price, it auto-populates the VQAO sales report. Okay. ID, product description, category, bottle size, and price. So right now we've sold 9 liters of each to licensees. We've sold 9 liters of each by the glass here. But let's say we sold a case of each, 9 liters in retail. We sold 9 liters of each to the LCBO. and we sold 9 liters of each to Alberta, an out of province sale. Your retail value for the LCBO is basically half. It's whatever is going to be on your invoice. But for the sake of argument, we'll just divide by 2 and call that 118.80, and we'll call that 142.80, and we'll just do the same for other provinces. Sold a case of each in retail, sold a case of each to licensees, sold a case of each to the LCBO, sold a case of each at a province, and sold a case of each to buy the glass. Now, let's say we did some farmers market sales. We're going to sell a case there and a case of each. 6 sales channels here for our 2 wines. You're at this moment, this exact moment, your VQAO sales report is complete. We can go look up at the top here, 108 liters, 18 liters by 6 sales channels is 108 liters. By 0.045 cents, $4.86 by 13% HST, 63 cents, $5.49. If we go to the remittance summary, we can scroll down. Here's our $5.49 to the Ontario Wine Appellation Authority. But we're not done yet. We might as well finish off the sales report for the LCBO as well. So we are going to go back to the LCBJ10. And we are going to see that our retail sales, our direct delivery sales to licensees, our buy the glass sales, and our farmers market sales are here. But we are missing our LCBO sales and our out of province sales. And we can go back here and just do a little copy and paste job of what we actually 261.60, 261.60, and 261.60. Okay. So now all our sales are reported on the VQAO sales report and on the LCBJ10. So the only thing that we're missing here is down on page 3 are the container deposits. So this is another fee that you pay to the LCBO for your wine on a monthly basis, or sorry, on your sales on a monthly basis. So you'll notice that 48 bottles have been auto-populated here, and that is from the VQA sales report. Remember, this one is linked to here and also up here. Okay, so your 48 bottles are from the VQA tab back here. So we're missing our winery retail store sales. And you'll notice that in the same line is promotional and tastings that we have not entered up here. So promotional wine is anything that you've given away, donated, sampled, tasted, doesn't matter. If it's anything that you're not getting full value for. So let's say for the month of September, we gave away a case of wine, whether it was samples or a donation in there or whatever. And we are going to put this as 0. You can put it at your cost. You can put it at the retail value. It doesn't matter. It's not linked anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere. So you can put 0 if you want. So now our retail sales are, or our total sales are now 117 liters. Our VQAO sales are still 108 because you don't pay the Ontario Wine Appellation Authority on promotional liters. So we're going to go back here. Now our bottles have changed. We have 24 in retail, 24 farmers market, and then 12 in promo. So for a total of 60 bottles. So we're going to scroll down to the bottom and we're going to put 60. In here, it's going to tell you you owe us $12 for those 60 bottles, plus the 48 is a total of 108 bottles for $21.60. So let's go back to the remittance summary. And we're going to say, okay, so the LCBO, I owe the LCBO $97.44. That's $75.84 in direct delivery fees. here, and $21.60 in container deposits here. You'll notice that we're still at $5.49 for VQA Ontario, or the Ontario Wine Appellation Authority. There's a couple things to point out here. If you go to page 2, your categories are broken up by red, rosé, white VQA, also red, rosé, white table wine for non-VQA. And you'll notice that if you have such a product, you have to manually enter those. They're not linked anywhere. The lack of a red little indicator, there's no link. If you were doing cider, coolers, fruit wine, flavored wines, you would put them in here. They're not linked anywhere. Further down, your sales are broken up by location type. So winery, retail store on-site, non-VQA on-site, indicator on here. Again, it's a manual entry. And then last but not least, the farmers market sales are broken out from your retail sales. So you have a total of 36 liters in retail, half of which were actually farmers market sales. So at this point, our template is complete. We have recorded our retail sales, recorded our LCBO sales, recorded our direct delivery sales, our at a province sales, our promo, our by the glass, and our farmers market sales on both the LCBJ 10, on the applicable VQA tab, and on the VQAO sales report. So we're looking pretty good. So as I mentioned before, if you were doing the non-VQA tab, it's very similar. It is any information that you put here is linked back to here on page 1 of the LCBJ 10. We already did the VQAO sales report. Duty free is similar to the VQA non-VQA tab, and then it's linked to the first page of the J10. Sort of the same information, not very complicated. The SOP tab, very few people are actually using this because it's for wineries that don't have an AGCO retail store endorsement, but want to do SOP sales. Chances are you're not going to use it. The remittance summary we reviewed. The top part is the LCBO payment. Best practice is just double check what you've entered, and if it should match up on the VQA tab, non-VQA tab. It's all listed here. Your container deposits are right. Same with the Ontario Wine Appellation Authority part. Just make sure that that total matches that total on the VQAO sales report. This middle section is included just as a FYI of where your HST has been allocated throughout the forms. You don't pay this. It's more of it's an information only thing. So further down on the remittance summary, there's also mailing addresses. Calculator tab, we use this to figure out our basic price, but there's a bunch of other stuff in here that's useful. Figuring out your landed cost. So if you sell wine to the LCBO, you can figure out how much you're actually going to be selling it to them. And you can also figure out your revenue distribution, either by dollar or by percentage for your licensee sales. If you're selling a VQA wine, you keep 78%. If you're selling a non-VQA wine to a licensee, you're only keeping 51%. Tons of useful information here. The MRP tab is minimum retail. So every year this is updated on April 1st. And it's handy in case you're concerned about being above minimum retail, which you always should be. So at this point, our template is complete. So on the overview tab, there are instructions on how you're going to report this to the LCBO. You're going to save a copy. You're going to send it to winery.reporting@lcbo.com no later than 20 days after the month end. Similarly, you're going to save a copy and you're going to submit this to the Ontario Wine Appellation Authority no later than the 20th. So now you're in your services site and you want to report your sales. So we are going to go to sales reporting, new sales report, and let's just make sure I'm sharing this screen. Okay. We are going to select September. We are going to enter 108 liters. And we are going to choose a file. You'll see here we have a description of the total LCBO J10 Excel file, XLXS, or you can choose a PDF of the VQAO sales report. We prefer the XLXS because it's easier to pull data. So we're going to choose file. I'm going to go to my desktop. I am going to scroll down to September 2024 sales reporting, and I'm going to open it. And we have a little reminder for you to click which type of file you're opening. We are uploading the LCBO winery reporting template file, and everything looks fine, no comments, our leaders are right, and we're going to save. So our sales report has been submitted and our sales report has been processed, and we are going to close that. And that is the end of our reporting lesson.